would be a season high.
You got what you want. Don't keep pushing the
Here's Haliburton, deep three. Count it again. 31 points, 11 assists for Haliburton. We know what he did in Las Vegas. Now he goes behind the back. Turner for three.
Welcome back to the All Things Basketball Podcast. I'm your host, Vic Lopez, as always. This is a different kind of episode that I wanted to do specifically because this comes right after the Bucks-Pacers game from last night. Pacers have played the Bucks 5 times, right? And it was an idea that came about just after the post-game press conference from Adrian Griffin Sr. And this isn't going to be about any tactical decisions or things that happen in the middle of a game and I'm looking for adjustments. This is specifically going to be a video targeted at 3 questions that Adrian Griffin answered. And I just think he's wrong. Just what he answered to those questions, I find super questionable. And it leads me to believe that he probably has no idea what he's talking about when he answers these questions sometimes. But go ahead and listen to the first question.
Tyrese goes for 31 and 12 tonight. I don't think he had any turnovers. 5 games against him this year. What do you feel like you guys just have been unable to do to, pressure him or make him feel comfortable in any sort of way?
No, he's a good player, right? He makes some tough shots at the end. He kind of got going and hit some deep threes. But overall, I think we did a pretty good job.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I have some notes here, obviously. I wanted to write some things down while I was watching that presser, right? Overall, we did a pretty good job, right, regarding Tyrese Haliburton. This was the pretty good job. 31 points, 12 assists. Here are the splits for Haliburton. 50% from the field, 45.5% from 3, 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Pretty good job? I don't know about that. I don't know where he got that sense, right? He did mention that Hallie made some tough shots and sometimes there's nothing you can do. Part of that is true. But if he's that efficient and he's scoring that much, you really think you did a good job? I disagree with that. That's question 1 of 3 that I wrote down here because these were the main ones that stood out to me.
I challenged the team before the game about rebounding. We held them, under single digits, I think 7 maybe. So our guys, I thought we fought. We kept competing.
So he says, we held the Pacers to single-digit offensive rebounds, right? That's interesting because the Pacers are 29th in rebounding overall, right? Now, where are they offensively on the boards? 22nd in offensive rebounds. So saying we did a good job against the Pacers on those offensive boards, that's like saying you held the Detroit Pistons to below league average from 3. That's just what they do. The Pacers don't rebound well. They don't rebound well on either side of the ball. So, kind of patting yourself on the back about that is interesting to me. I find that weird. Yes, it's an accomplishment because obviously the game before, that was a problem. However, to pat yourself on the back about that, I don't think that's something that you take as like something that you want to throw out there that you just did so well. This is, like I said, this is just a team that does not rebound as it is. They really punt on offensive rebounds because they're just trying to get back. A lot of teams are just not crashing on the offensive boards like they used to. Part of that is because it's in the name of transition defense, right? It just helps your defense a little bit better. So that's why a lot of teams have stopped crashing boards that much. Now they will send, their big or at least one person to crash, but it's not like it used to be. It's just not as much of an emphasis these days. I just found that interesting to kind of count that as something that you did so well, when in general, they're just not a team that does that well anyways. And here's the last question that I just wanted to show on this quick video from Adrian Griffin.
We didn't give up. You learn a lot from games like this, and we'll just continue to get better.
What do you feel like you've learned about this team against the Pacers?
Well, they're gonna, the way they play, right? They play fast. We have to be very disciplined in transition. With our schemes and whatnot, you got to execute at a high level. I won't go into too much detail about, opportunities for us in the future, if we play them in the playoffs or whatnot.
So he says we learn a lot from games like this, and we'll continue to just get better, right? That's like one of those cliche answers that coaches will give in those pressers when they're out of ideas of like how to answer something. Yeah, we'll just continue to get better, and I understand, right? So the reporter asks him, what do you feel that you've learned about playing this team? You've played the team 5 times this season. You've lost 4 games against them. Surely you have something you've learned about this team. But no, he doesn't give he tells you something that everyone already knows, right? Oh, this team plays fast. They fly around. But out of a bunch of those games and 4 games that you lose, then he goes on to say, oh, I'm not going to get into detail about that. I don't know. I think that's just him not really knowing, I guess not being prepared for that kind of question. But I just feel like he is just so lost in this whole situation, right? And I understand there's a lot of pressure on Adrian Griffin because of the Dame trade, because this team already won a chip, because this team is expected to be a contender literally every year. I don't know. I just found it interesting that he then ends that answer with, I'm not going to get into the details of that. I just feel like he kind of gave up on that question and just kind of, moved on as fast as he could. Now, he does say that they continue to get better and they will continue to get better. Last 5 games, this team is 27th in defensive rating. Where exactly are they getting better? I'm going to admit the chemistry looks better. The offense is still good. Part of that is because if you have Giannis and you have Dame and Brook Lopez and Chris Middleton and, it's the offense is going to be good. But it's the defense that concerns me, and it's the defense that concerns everyone, especially Bucks fans. You go in those comments for that presser, and a lot of the Bucks fans are just hammering Adrian Griffin, telling them to start AJ Green and making all these different kinds of switches. This video is not for those tactical things. It was more so I was just surprised by the answers that he gave on this presser. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like he's quietly on this hot seat. I don't know. The whole Bobby Portis thing in the locker room after that one loss, where they're calling him out, where he's calling him out in the locker room that he has to have more of a voice, has to be more assertive. I don't know. Those things are red flags. I don't know if he's really on the hot seat because again, the Bucks are still second in the conference. The record is still really good, but if you really take the time to watch these Bucks, they don't look like a true contender to me. They don't. They just don't. I don't trust them like I have in the past. The way that Adrian Griffin approaches these press conferences, his face on the sidelines when you're watching these games, he always looks scared. He doesn't have that leader vibe to me, and maybe I'm just being unfair, like he's a rookie head coach, but I'm sorry. If you're an NBA coach and you're coaching Giannis and Dame, and also obviously a group that's won the title already, you gotta be a leader. You have to show, we have to feel your presence. I don't feel his presence in games. I really don't. I don't know if I'm in the minority when I say this, but I just don't believe in this coach, and I have seen it a lot. So maybe I'm not in the minority. I just don't believe in Coach Griffin. I don't know what these Bucks are gonna do. Maybe they let this season play out and see if things get better and just let the postseason run. But I don't expect Adrian Griffin to last longer than this season. if they come up short in the playoffs. And this is looking like a big L coaching hire by the Milwaukee Bucks. That's all I wanted to say. Just wanted to do a quick video, just kind of breaking down 3 points that I took down here. Thanks for listening to this video. Thanks for watching. This is the All Things Basketball Podcast. I'm your host, Vic Lopez, as always, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.